In a quiet suburban neighborhood, golden sunlight bathed the houses in a warm glow. Lila, just 8 years old, stood on tiptoe peeking over the backyard fence, a daisy in her small hand. Across the fence sat Ethan, 15 and effortlessly cool, strumming his guitar on his porch. To Lila, he was perfect. Older, mysterious, and completely unaware she existed. From that day on, she adored him in silence. She baked cookies and delivered them to his door, only to be greeted by his mother. She waved frantically whenever he passed, but he was always lost in his music or hidden behind headphones. She sketched his face in secret, played the guitar in her room, and mimicked his hobbies, hoping one day he might notice. The years rolled by, seasons changing in a blur. Lila grew through awkward phases, braces, glasses, and mismatched outfits. Yet her eyes never strayed from Ethan. He became a young man while she quietly bloomed. One summer morning, Ethan was watering his mother's flowers when a bright laugh caught his ear. He looked up and froze. There was Lila, now 16, walking to the mailbox in a simple sundress, sunlight catching in her hair. A butterfly landed on her hand. For the first time, Ethan truly saw her. After that, he found himself watching Lila dancing barefoot in the grass, helping her dad repair the fence, playing guitar on her porch. One afternoon at the fence, he finally spoke to her. "I didn't know you played guitar," he said. "I guess I picked it up somewhere," she replied with a smirk, playing his signature tune. He smiled. "That's mine." She tilted her head. Maybe not anymore." They began to spend more time together, sharing popsicles under the summer sun, sketching in chalk on the sidewalk, lying side by side on the grass under the stars. Friendship blossomed into something unspoken, but real. One night at a backyard party strung with warm lights, Ethan found her under their old treehouse. "I was a total idiot," he admitted. "You were right here all along and I didn't see you." "I was pretty hard to miss," she teased. He chuckled. "Apparently I needed new glasses." "You're amazing, Lila, and I don't want to miss another second." Her smile softened. "I've waited forever to hear that." They leaned into a gentle cheek-to-cheek embrace as fireflies danced around them. A year later, they walked side by side, him carrying her sketchbook, her strumming the guitar. On the backyard fence, they painted in bold, bright letters, "Next door to my heart." The fresh paint gleamed in the golden sunlight, telling the story of two souls who had grown together across seasons. Ethan carefully traced a sweeping underline, while Lila added a tiny daisy in the corner, a symbol of the day everything changed. The once plain fence now stood as a vibrant canvas of their love, a barrier transformed into a bridge. Neighbors passing by smiled knowingly, sensing the magic woven into every brushstroke. Lila's hair caught the breeze as she stepped back to admire their work. Ethan reached out and gently wiped a smudge from her cheek, their fingers lingering. It was more than paint. It was a promise. Their days soon settled into soft rhythms. Mornings filled with shared coffee, afternoons lost in drawing and music, evenings glowing with the last light of sunset. The fence stood witness to quiet moments and bursts of laughter that echoed through the neighborhood. Children gathered at their feet, drawing chalk flowers and hearts, while friends stopped by with sweet treats, drawn to the warmth between them. Ethan often paused mid-song just to watch Lila, captivated by her thoughtful smiles and quick laughs. She caught his gaze and answered it with a smile that said everything. Nature's orchestra of crickets and cicadas played along, marking time in their secret world. One special evening, Ethan led Lila up the creaky ladder to the old treehouse, now lovingly restored with fresh boards and twinkling lanterns. Inside, she found her very first sketch of him, a delicate drawing she thought he'd never seen. Her cheeks flushed as realization dawned. He had treasured it all these years. "You were watching me long before I knew," she whispered. He brushed her hair back gently, eyes soft. "I was just slow to catch up." They laughed, the old treehouse turning into a sanctuary where past and present met, and dreams took flight. Fridays became sacred, nights to exchange small tokens of affection. A pressed flower, a new song, a silly sketch that made them both laugh until their sides ached. Lanterns swayed overhead as they shared hopes and whispered dreams. Ethan confessed his plans to travel after graduation, but not alone. He wanted Lila by his side. "Wherever we go," he promised, "we'll find fences to paint and sunsets to chase." She placed her hand over his heart, sealing the vow without words. Their future was a canvas yet to be filled. Autumn arrived, dressing their world in shades of amber and rust. They wandered to the hill overlooking their town, where rooftops stretched beneath the sprawling sky. Lila sketched the scene, capturing the winding streets and distant river, while Ethan watched her with quiet admiration. "One day," he said softly, "this will be just the first page in our story." She smiled, adding a tiny blue fence into her drawing, their special mark. The scent of cinnamon from the bakery mingled with the crisp air, wrapping the moment in warmth. Winter brought stillness and frost, but their bond grew only stronger. They wrapped the fence in strings of golden lights that shimmered against the snow's white blanket. Together they built a snowman, adorning it with a scarf painted in Lila's signature daisy yellow. On Christmas Eve, Ethan slipped a small package into her hands, a silver guitar pick engraved with "Our Song." She didn't need words to know what it meant. The melody lived in her heart. They stood close beneath the glow, the world hushed and perfect. By spring, the fence had become a neighborhood treasure, alive with seasonal murals, sunflowers, swirling leaves, delicate snowflakes, and vibrant blossoms. Children eagerly awaited each new addition, while passers-by paused to admire the art. "One day," Lila joked, "we'll run out of space and have to paint the other side." Ethan grinned. "Then we'll keep going, no matter what." The fence was no longer just theirs. It was a living testament to hope, growth, and enduring love. One warm evening, Ethan played the very first song Lila had ever learned just for him. She sat nearby, sketching his profile with tender concentration, as if trying to freeze time. When he finished, he showed her a small notebook filled with drawings, each one of her, capturing every smile, every glance. "I guess I was watching you too," he said, voice gentle. She laughed softly, eyes shining with affection, knowing that their story was woven from quiet moments like these. That summer, they hosted a small gathering beneath the fence, surrounded by friends and neighbors. Paper lanterns swayed in the gentle breeze, music floated on the air, and laughter bubbled around the yard. Guests signed their names along the fence's bottom plank, leaving messages of love and encouragement. Lila's father raised a toast to patience and love, born next door and nurtured in plain sight. Ethan pulled Lila close, their cheeks pressed together as they soaked in the joy surrounding them. The fence was now a monument, not only to their love, but to the community it had touched. Later that night, with the party long over and lanterns dimmed, Ethan and Lila stood quietly before the fence. The paint was chipped here and there, faded by sun and rain, but the story it told was as vivid as ever. "No matter where life takes us," Ethan said, wrapping his arms around her, "I will always come back here, with you." She leaned against him, heart steady in his chest. Fireflies drifted lazily into the night, carrying their tails skyward. The fence stood tall, a promise etched in wood, paint, and the steady rhythm of two hearts joined forever.